Hey guys, Ninja W450 here, and, well, I'm reacting to a video that was released a couple months ago. I've already seen this video, but I think I just want to share with you guys this video. I will include a link to the video in the description below, as well as a couple other responses to another response to this video that I think will have been a much better job. Now, forewarning, there is language. I'm not going to be cutting much of the language or bleeping it out, but I personally will not try to use that language unless I'm quoting him. That being said, let's go in and get into this. This video is not great, guys. Yeah, just to give you some, this Bring Hill back, he's a 343 Industries hater. A lot of, I haven't watched many of his videos, but that's from things that I've heard, I should say. This is the ratio of his video. He has 23,000 views. Not great. Not great at all. And that's the link I'll share also. It's Griffin Gaming. He does a much better job. Really just talking about this guy. Anyways, let's get into it.
Alrighty, so I actually just woke up. I played a couple hours of Halo 3 PC last night, and so far I'm really enjoying the game. Shot registration was phenomenal for me. I was actually mind blown by some of the shots I was able to hit across the map. I'm sure other people are experiencing some incidents.
Okay, so I'm going to do it, Griffin. I'm going to sort of skip over this part. This part is not necessary to his main point of the video. Like, I'm glad that he likes the game, but he just simply does not actually get to the point of why he made this video. I don't know exactly.
And I'm gonna be doing like a full review type video of Halo 3.
So, yeah. So this is the sort of the end of that. It's if you really want to watch it, I mean, it's very brief. It's like 30 seconds, but I don't want to waste anybody's time.
PC at a later date, and probably later this week. But this video, this is, I mean, this is just gonna be me bitching. Yeah, that's all this is gonna be. So I can understand if you don't want to watch it. But yeah, I gotta kind of rant about this. I have to, man, because for those of you who don't know, they shadow dropped Halo 3 on PC last night, and some people were frustrated by this. They changed the date and time that they're releasing the.
And by some people, he is meaning like probably percentage-wise, a percent, maybe 0.5% of people. Not many people. I didn't even know that Halo 3 shadow dropped until just about a week ago. So the way he's presenting this is that it was a huge controversy, when in reality it wasn't even really getting talked about. And I watched some pretty big Halo YouTubers like Hidden Xperia, for example, Hidden Xperia, Rocket Sloth. I watched those guys and they didn't say anything. they didn't say anything about Halo 3 shadow dropping, as far as I'm aware. So I didn't even know it dropped. Um, what he's going to claim, what he's going to say 12 hours ahead of time. So, anyways, let's continue.
Game and shadow dropped it. And yeah, some people are frustrated, myself included. And like let's just put this into perspective. So they announced back in March of 2019 that MCC is coming to PC, that they're going to roll the games out one by one, right? And as soon as they announced that in March of 2019, over a year ago, I said to myself, okay, when Halo 3 comes out, I'm taking off work and I'm grinding this game all day.
Yeah, I'm pausing at this point. I just want to say that that is a very irresponsible thing to do. Don't ever take off work to play a game. Never. That's dumb. I'm gonna be blunt. That's stupid. Because you need the money to be able to actually afford the game that you're playing. If you already bought the game, that's great, but you're still losing money in this process. So instead of paying like the $40 initially, you're losing what you are earning that day as well. So say he works like say like a 13 hour job, or a 13 an hour job, and he had 8 hours. He has lost $104. Take away taxes, depending on where he lives, maybe about 90-95, on top of the 40 of the game, of the Halo Master Chief Collection. So instead of spending um, $40, he is in actuality spending like $134 just to play this game, which is ridiculous. So don't take off work to play a game. You're therefore You are simply, what you're stating is that you're paying more for that game than what you actually think you are.
That's what I'm thinking to myself, right? Just like any game that you want to take off work to play when it releases. Halo 3, that was my game, and that's my pride and joy. I'm taking off work, and I'm gonna play this game as soon as it drops. And other people had similar plans. Well, we don't get a date that they are releasing Halo 3 on PC until 7 days before.
Which is fine. We didn't know a date for months ahead. I mean, it's okay. What matters, what's important is that they are bringing the game to PC in a way that improves its graphical quality, its frame rate quality, and just overall responsiveness. So it doesn't matter if they um, release the date a week early, they release it a month early. The fact that they gave a release date a week before meant that they spent more time working on this game, which in the end is actually a good thing. So, anyways.
Till 7 days before. We don't get the time the game is dropping until like 4 days before. And then, like 12 hours before the time that they give us that the game's gonna drop, they change it and they shadow drop the game right then and there.
Which is fine. I mean, the fact that they, it's kind of like I'm a college student. I have a set time and date to turn in my assignments. If I finish my assignment early and the drop box is open, I can turn in that assignment early, and I would still receive the same grade for it as if I did the same grade for it as if I did that time. I'm finished with my assignment. It's typed out, proofread, everything's done. I don't need to keep it with me for that extra 12 hours or 2 days if it's complete. So,
Now, when I expressed my frustrations with this, with them shadow dropping the game and not being able to stick to a set date and time,
I would understand that argument if it was released like a day or two after the um, the time that they promised, but it wasn't. It was before. So that's the key thing here. A lot of people would probably understand this argument if it was released after, but not before.
I was met with a lot of comments along the lines of, "Oh, you're mad they're releasing it early? How could you be mad they're releasing it early? Oh, you always got to find something to complain about." Arash, I'll link his channel in the description. He was met with similar comments, and in the official Halo Discord, he said, stuff like this is seriously pathetic for a major company. I don't know why it is so hard to give us a release.
Again, I would understand if they released it after the fact, but it's not. It was released 12 hours before in a state that is actually good. Again, it goes back to what I said about my assignment. If I have an assignment that is completed, proofread, everything's done, I don't need to hold on to it before that due date. Before that due date in time, I can turn it in early and just forget about it until I get my grade. And in this case, get a good grade. Halo 3 on PC, got a good grade. So,
I don't know why it is so hard to give us release dates and stick to them. Yeah, I mean, that is just, how could you, I agree, 100%. And then people are like, "Oh, are you serious?" And Arash says 100%. So you're literally complaining about a company releasing a game early? And Arash says, yeah, some people make plans around set dates and times companies give them. It's not hard to stick to the times you tell.
generally, being early is perceived as a good thing. So, like, say you're going to a party and you arrive like 10, 15 minutes early, and you get there, yeah, you're not gonna, the fun hasn't really truly started yet, but you can help people out, and it's perceived as a good thing. You're there, another thing, being there early shows that you care about the event that you're attending. So you're sitting there and you're get in your car and you go and you ride 15 minutes early, people are going to be ecstatic to see you because you're showing, hey, I care. I care about what you're doing right now. By the way, Arash, um, 2.57 thousand subscribers, about the same amount as bringing Halo back and a little bit more, but 343 is not going to listen to two YouTubers that collectively make up about 5,000 subs. They are literally out there they want to please the multitude, and judging by this like to dislike ratio and these comments, they achieved their purpose. They set out to please the multitude, the millions of people, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people by releasing this game 12 hours early. The comments are on here. Like, yeah, you can see for yourself. A lot of people don't agree. Now, like, there's some people, I get that there are some people that agree with him, but at the same time, it's just not worth your
People.
time.
100%. He is not wrong at all. So, this guy, so it's a bad thing they release it.
Again, I'm not sure why you're setting time to play a game. Like, that game's gonna be there once you get off work. And I also rather make plans to be with my wife than to play a game. I consider myself a pretty big gamer. I play a lot of games. I built a computer myself so I can play games well and enjoy games. But I'm not. I make plans to play games with people, but I don't make. I don't. I would never take off work. Um, I would never take off work to play a game. Never. That's just irresponsible.
12 hours early? Alright, cool. How the
Yeah.
fuck can people not understand that you would be frustrated with them releasing the game unexpected like this?
By the way, he mentions quite a bit in some reaction in his react. I skipped some of it because he's just yelling at Discord. Like this comment from Baby Shark. Okay, hang on. We'll just roll it back for everyone and tell them it's because you're mad. That's funny. Anyways, he says that he did not get mad during this and that he was just talking passionately. There's a difference between talking passionately and yelling. Talking loudly and yelling. Right now, I'm talking loudly. I'm talking passionately because I love Halo 3. Halo 3 is an awesome game. And I made a video, I released a video from one of the Halo 3 levels from my PC. And you can tell from my tone of voice, because you can't see my face right now, you can tell from my tone of voice that I am talking passionately. I'm not talking with emotion, with anger or such. This guy does frustrate the crap out of me. Don't get me wrong, but you can tell from his actions, him yelling, his tone of voice is very clearly hostile, that he is in fact angry.
They give us the release date 7 days before. They give us the release time 4 days before, and then they fucking change it and just drop it right then and there. You don't understand how people could be frustrated by that? People take off of work. They plan for this shit.
Again, don't take off of work for a game. The game will be there. If the company finds out that you're taking off work for a video game, they can fire you. Don't take off work for a game. It's stupid.
Want to play the game right when it drops. You don't understand how people wouldn't like them releasing the game unexpectedly early? What the fuck is wrong with you? And then there were even more brain dead.
And then there's comments like that, what the F is wrong with you? And people like, why are you getting so mad? There's also the angry emotion. And he's just like, I'm not mad. I didn't get mad. And anyways, I'm sorry.
Replies on this tweet Arash put out saying apparently H3 is out. I don't know why 343 has a dying hatred of actually sticking to release times. And you have people saying, why is this a bad thing? You can still play it at whatever time you planned, but others can begin playing it now. First off, that's not the point. You want to play. You plan to play the game right when it drops.
Why? There's no distinct advantage to playing the game as right when it drops versus when you play it 12 hours later. Griffin makes a great point when he says it's not like Call of Duty where you grind the game and you get good guns. Here you grind the game, you get cosmetics. That's it. There's no real benefit to playing this game as early as it's dropped. Now, if you happen to be off and it drops, great. Just don't take off work to play a game. I sound like I sound like I'm in an echo chamber right now, but I can't emphasize that enough. Work, provide for yourself, and if you have a family, provide for your family. Don't take off work to play a game. Priorities need to be straight.
Right, you want to play it right when it drops. Some people want to grind it from the time it drops all through the night. And this, because they like finding something to cry about. 343 gives us Season 2 update early in Halo 3 on PC, and it's bad? Question mark? How is releasing a game earlier than intended shady? Literally no one loses in this. No one loses in this situation? What? Imagine being mad that...
That comment was right. Nobody loses.
One of the most anticipated Halo games on PC released early. These people, I don't, completely brain dead. Nobody understands how you could be frustrated that something released early, and there was plenty.
No. No, I mean, I can't. I understand that. If it's released in a good condition, not even just good, a great condition, and it's earlier than what you anticipated, that's good. Now, if it released in a bad condition, again, his argument would make perfect sense. But it wasn't. It was released in a good condition.
Plenty of other unintelligent comments, but I don't have time to go through them all. But let me put it like this.
I made time to go through this video, so... Anyways.
Yes, for those of you who don't understand how releasing something early and changing the date and time unexpectedly could be a bad thing. So, let's say you plan a week-long vacation for you and your family. You plan...
This analogy, by the way, is stupid and terrible. Griffin comes up with a much better analogy regarding packages. If you order a package and it's scheduled to arrive at your house on a certain day and time, and it comes in like a day early, that's generally a good thing. I think another analogy, I've been using my homework analogy. I get done with homework early, and it's in a good condition. It's in great condition. It's proofread. Everything's done. I turn it in. Same can be said for work. You get all your work done early and ahead of time. Your boss generally is going to be happy about that. He's going to praise you, or she's going to praise you for that work if it's in good quality. If it's in bad quality, you're going to get reprimanded for taking shortcuts. Again, this isn't the case. 343 didn't take any shortcuts when developing Halo 3 for PC. They released it in a good state. So no, it's hard for a lot of people to understand your point, BHB. That's what I'm going to call you, BHB, because it was released early in a good, playable state. If it was released in a bad state, then people would reprimand 343, and they would say, hey, you did a sloppy job. But they didn't, so.
A cruise, okay? And there's a set date and a set time that you're going to board the cruise. Okay? And let's say the terminal where you got to go to board the cruise is like 3 hours away, right? And it's the night before. Tomorrow, you're going to the terminal, you're boarding the cruise, and there you go, right? It's the night before, you have all your shit packed, you're ready to go to sleep, you're going to wake up early, get to the terminal 2 hours before boarding, and yeah, that's the plan, right? And then all of a sudden, the cruise line comes out and says, we're boarding now. We're boarding right now. Oh, that's a good thing because it's early. Oh, it's early.
So Griffin again makes a really excellent point. I'm not going to explain it this well at all. So I definitely recommend you go check out his video, which I will link in the description, how boarding starting early is a good thing. Griffin explains that he's been on 5 cruises in the past 5 years, and the most frustrating part is sitting there waiting for hours for the cruise line to start boarding. And you have to sit there and you have to pull out all your stuff to present to the people, like your passport and everything like that. And so starting the boarding process early would help mitigate that, to help mitigate the issues with that by allowing some of the passengers to be on board already. So, again, he explains it so much better. Go check out his video.
Good thing.
I will say that his response to that, to what Griffin says, was that he was implying that boarding time and departure time were both being set back early, which sounds more like a caveat, or not caveat, a sort of cop-out response, in my opinion, because it's clear he was not intending that when he said boarding time. There's a boarding time and there's a departure time. A lot of you already know this. Boarding time is when you board, and departure time is when the ship departs. So there's no way, there's no reason for those two to be connected in any way, shape, or form. There's a whole other reason why this analogy also fails, in that it falls with the grounds of the fact that the cruise is a week-long thing. You get on a cruise, or maybe a month long, I don't know, depending on the cruise. You get onto the cruise ship, and you set sail. And once you get off, you get off. Here's why it cannot compare to a video game launch. Well, I mean, it compares to a launch, but not to the game itself. The launch, you get on during launch. Yeah. So you get on, the game starts, and once you get off, the launch is over. That's it. That's how it compares. The issue with the analogy is that after launch, the game is still there. Once you get off the cruise ship, the cruise is over. You can go onto another cruise, but it's not the same cruise as the one before. You get onto Halo 3, post-launch, it's still Halo 3. So, anyways.
3 hours away from the terminal. You plan to be there on time, but they unexpectedly, without warning, just changed it and said, "Hey, we're boarding now." Man, stupidity. I cannot stand stupidity, and it's just, stupidity is so common in the world today. It is.
He's right about that, but that's besides the point. For example, this video.
Like, I feel like there's a bunch of people. Like, I feel like you could tell somebody 2 + 2 = 4, and people will just sit there and deny it. Nah, it's 5. It's 5. You could prove to them it's 4, but not.
Griffin makes an excellent response, saying that he was doing the exact same thing when he was reading through the Twitter and Discord comments.
They're just gonna sit there, it's 5. Nope, it's 5. They won't have it any other way, it's 5. Even though you have proof, you can back it up. No, it's 4. Here, I'll show you, it's 4. No.
He has not provided any proof to his claim yet, by the way. I still get confused on what his point is in this video. That's besides the point.
People are ignorant and fucking stupid as shit. Now,
remember, guys, he's not angry.
I get it. If you were sitting here at your PC and just bored as shit and thinking to yourself, man, I really wish it was tomorrow. I want to play Halo 3 PC right now. And then 343 comes out and says, oh, we're dropping it now. Yay! Yeah, I understand being happy. Cool, fine. But to not understand how some people would be frustrated with this is so absurd. Like, some people were busy. They cleared their schedule for a certain date and time when this game
Again, don't do that.
is supposed to drop. Because they want to play it right when it releases. And without warning, they just changed the date and time. If they had, like, they had to have known there was a possibility they were going to change the time. And, like, they couldn't have at least warned us. Like,
There's no way knowing if the project you're working on gets done early. I was working on a paper last week. I had a couple of days to get it done. I started it. I finished it 2 days ahead of schedule. I had a set schedule set out for how much for what was left to get done each day till the due date. I finished it 2 days early. I was like, okay, that's awesome. I turned it in. So by his logic, what I did was a bad thing. Because I should have waited till the due date to turn in my paper, even though it was already done. Proofread, completed, edited, done. So that's his logic. I did a bad thing by turning that big paper in early.
actually, so I seen several 343 devs on Twitter liking and retweeting posts talking about the game launching on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Well, it would have been 1 p.m. for me, my time, 10 Pacific. But yeah, I saw 343 employees on Twitter retweeting and liking posts that said that. Oh, Tuesday at 1 p.m. Like a couple hours before they shadow dropped the fucking game.
Yes, it's called either a surprise drop, which generally is a good thing, or they didn't realize they were going to get done with the game and decided, you know what, it's done, let's go ahead and release it early. Again, you can't know that you're going to finish a project early.
What? Yet again, incompetent as fuck. I need a different word. I need a different word, because I'm getting tired of saying incompetent when talking about fucking 343, man.
And there he shows his negative response towards 343. I think that even if 343 released the best game of all time, like everything was perfect, the writing, the characters, the story, world development, graphics, gameplay, everything was perfect, he would still hate them. He would say, they still made a bad game. And that's a lot with, and I think he's not the only person. I think a lot of people with the 343 haste syndrome would do the same thing. Like, oh, this game, it's awful. It's terrible. Like, but people are just like, but its graphics are gorgeous. Its storytelling is unique. It's rich. No, it's an awful game. Like, why is it an awful game? Well, 343, they ruined Halo. Yeah. And there, by the way, you can tell with my tone, me getting frustrated. It is passionate, yes, but it's frustrated. You can tell that with my tone of voice there, I was frustrated. Just letting you all know.
And another thing which doesn't really apply to myself, because I'm all over the place with my YouTube channel and the videos I upload, and I'm always late to get in certain videos.
I am too. I don't have a set schedule. I just kind of record and upload when I feel like it. Just kind of like a little bit of a hobby type of deal. Normally, I just play video games, so.
Videos out. So this doesn't really affect me, because, like I said, I don't know. I'm so unorganized. But there's some content creators out there who wanted to make videos on Halo 3 PC right when it dropped about Season 2 or the new Skull, the challenges, all kinds of things. Well, first off, plenty of people already beat them to it because they got early access to the game, but now they get this random, unexpected release time for the game, which they might...
You can still film a reaction video. I get so frustrated with people who think, oh, somebody else recorded it, therefore I can't. Yes, you can. You can still record your own unique take on the game. That is completely fine. Your opinion is not going to be the exact same as other people. You don't have to get angry and pissy about sitting there and thinking, oh, I can't record this video because somebody else did. If that was true, the number of videos on YouTube would drop in the billions. For example, this video is the same sort of video that Griffin did. And you can see this video right here. But that's not stopping me from recording this video because I wanted to record this video. Do what you want. Don't let other people take your opinion away. Your opinion is your opinion. And you think that you can't record this video because somebody else did is bullcrap to the highest order. And you need to get your life you just need to really think about how you're going to set yourself apart. It's not about having a unique concept most of the time. It's about setting yourself apart from the others to garner that attention. If you're just going to sit there and whine about not being able to create a video that you absolutely can, then you're going to fail. Maybe that's why you only have 2.46 thousand subs. Because you freaking just dissing on 343 is not unique, it's not common. Initially, I didn't like 343, but what they've done with 343 as of late has really garnered me, really put me more so onto their good side, or put them on my good side. Set yourself apart. If you're just echoing what other people are saying, yeah, you are not going to be successful. And that is why you have just poor results. 2.46 thousand subscribers. And you sit there and you're just like, yeah, I mean, we want somebody else beat him to the punch. Somebody else beat you to the punch, expressing dislike for 343. Yet you're still here making videos about how you dislike him. Your point is moot, BHB. Your point is moot. Because you're doing what you say they can't do. They can make a reaction video. I'm just echoing at this point. Again, that was me being frustrated. It's okay to be frustrated in a video.
Not have been prepared for. They might have been at work, so they may not have been at home at their setup ready to make videos.
It's good. You're being responsible adults and working instead of freaking playing a video game. Again, you do the math earlier. You take out a whole day of work to play a game. You're no longer paying $40 for this game. You're not paying whatever wages you're losing during that day for this game. So that $40 game is now a $130 game. And say you do that for every single Halo game release, including ODST. Congratulations. The price you pay for that game is now in the several $100s. There's 5 games that are slated on, or 6 games. 6 games. Say you get $90 post-tax every single day. I'm just doing 90 because of easy math for me. That amount, so 9 times 6 is 36. So that's $360 that you lost because you decided to take off for playing a game. Plus that onto the 40. You've lost $400 to Halo. That's how much you actually spend on the game. So, be responsible. Don't take off work to play a game. The game's, it's not worth it. Even if it's the best game in the world, don't take it off. Do it in your free time. You have to have your priorities straight to be able to actually play this. It's just such. Anyways, I'm echoing.
And 343 unexpectedly announced, hey, the game's live right now. Like, again, that doesn't apply to me because, like, I'm always late. I take my time on getting my videos out, so everyone beats me to certain videos anyway. Like, if there's an MCC dev blog,
you can still make the video if you provide your own unique take on it. That's fine.
Everyone and their mom's gonna have a video out before me. That's just the way it is, and I don't really care. But
so why'd you even bring it up? If you don't care, why even bring it up? Okay, I guess.
Other people, this really affects them. 343. Never do this again.
Remember, guys, he's not angry at all.
Stick to a set date and time, right? And let us know a good amount of time in advance of what that date and time are. I don't understand why people can't comprehend how someone could be frustrated that they released the game unexpectedly early. It's common sense why someone would be frustrated about this. And you know, I was frustrated to begin with how long it took them to give us an actual confirmed date and time the game was coming out. Right? And I wanted to take off work, and I did, but like 2 weeks, like a little over a week in advance.
You took time off work to play this game. You took time off work to play this game. Don't do that. That's not smart. That's $90 less in your paycheck. It's not worth it. This guy is extremely entitled and egotistical. He gives off this vibe that suggests that his opinion is Lord above all. And that is extremely arrogant. And he claims, like, oh yeah, I understand why some people would be happy, but many aren't. No! It's the other way around. Very few aren't happy, and a lot were. Again, I didn't even know it shadow jumped. But that's just me. I stay out of the loop of a lot of things, or my own, whether I want to or not. But anyways, this guy, he frustrates me. He is entitled. He expects 343 to pander to everybody. He expects 343 to pander to him and to Arash. I don't know what he is like. I haven't watched any of his videos. He is entitled. He's arrogant. He's egotistical. I don't throw those words out lightly. I feel like that if I were to actually meet him in person, I wouldn't be disrespectful to him face to face, but afterwards I would just be angry. I would be very angry. I'd be venting to my wife about how angry this guy makes me. I feel like that's what would happen.
Before July 14th, I was at work talking to my boss. I'm like, is it cool if I take off a day next week? He's like, yeah, sure. Just let me know ahead of time. What day do you need off? And I'm just sitting there like, I don't know what time I need off because 343 won't fucking tell me what time I need off.
Just don't take off work for a game. I'm not taking off. I don't skip school because a game is dropping. I mean, granted, I'm paying thousands of dollars for my education. So, in that regard, I say, oh, I'm going to skip class to play a game. In that sense, I'm saying that my $40 game is more valuable to me than my $1,300 class. I'm not getting that money back. So,
because I knew the game was coming out. Well, first I didn't know the game was coming out July 14th. I didn't know. We didn't know that until like 7 days before. But even after I knew that, then it was like, okay, well, what time is it coming out? What time is it coming out? I work a 9 to 5, so I was, if the game came out the same time Halo 2 launched on PC, I would have been home from work, and I would have just taken off Wednesday, because then I would have had a full day to play. But if it was coming out in the middle of the day and I was at work, well, then I would have to take off Tuesday, because I want to play it when it drops.
Don't take off work for a game. That is so irresponsible. Anyways.
And then we finally found out it was 1 o'clock, so I ended up taking off Tuesday. And I say 1 o'clock because that's what time it was for me, because I'm Eastern time, but people in the West, it was 10 Pacific. But yeah, even though I was off work on Tuesday, I still wasn't prepared for them to shadow drop the game, especially when they're liking and retweeting posts.
It literally worked in his favor. A lot of people have pointed this out. I'm just reiterating this for my video. It worked in his favor. He was off work, which a lot of people, there's quite a few people that are off work by the time this game dropped. There's quite a few that weren't, but there were quite a few that were. Again, this is not as controversial as he's making it seem, as Arash. I completely forgot what my point was. Anyways.
Posts that are saying, oh, the game's coming out tomorrow at 1. Like, what? A lot of people weren't ready for this.
Most people aren't going to just complain. Oh, I remember. It's not as controversial as BHB and Arash are making it out to be. Because it wasn't controversial. It was a good thing. They made a good decision. But anyways.
And it's people say, oh, you could still play it at the time you took off work and the time you planned to play it. Yeah, that's not a problem. People want to play it right when it drops and grind the game. That is a thing. You want to play it right when it drops. If you can't comprehend that, you're a moron. So,
if you can't get past the fact that you are, like, if you can't get past being disappointed that you're not being able to play the game at launch because you're at work, then you might have to really look deep inside yourself and really just see where your emotional maturity is. There's a lot of disappointments in life. But if you sit there and just complain about every single disappointment you have in life, then you're going to get nowhere. Being emotionally mature is getting to that disappointment and getting past that disappointment and still enjoying life. So if you can't get past the disappointment of missing out on Halo 3's launch, you're in for a rough life. A really rough life.
So that's going to just about do it for this video. That's the end of my rant. I know this ain't going to be a big issue going forward. This was just annoying the night they unexpectedly dropped the game. But yeah, I just had...
He says that it's not going to be a big issue, but he made it seem like it was the worst deal. Through his vocal tone, through his actions on camera, it's just insane how he reacts to this. And he said it's not going to be a big deal. He's acting like it is. I don't know what to make of this. I think the rest of this it's just the end, the recap. Like I said, if you really want to watch it, you can. I showed pretty much the main body of his video. So, normally I don't make videos this long. But anyways. There's so much to unpack in the 11 and a half minutes that he speaks about this topic, that it's frustrating, it's aggravating at times for me to watch. Whenever a situation like this comes, typically, anyways, I'll get back to what I was saying. When a situation like this comes, I think to myself, the famous line from Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Because if I was in 343's position and I saw two small YouTubers complaining about this arbitrary thing, I would laugh. And I would laugh. Because they're making millions. So, they've made millions off the game. Typically, there are two good things when it comes to, or three good things that come into game development. One is a game that's released early and is in a great state, like Halo 3. Two, a game released on time is in a great state. And three, a game delayed, but released in a good state. The common denominator between all three of those things is the game being in a good state. If the game is in a good state, the fact that it's released early should make it even a better thing. Something to be celebrated and something to be admired. But apparently it's a bad thing, and remember, he's not angry. Not angry whatsoever. But yeah, I'm sorry this video is long. If you made it through the end of it, I want you to comment down below what you think of his analogy. What you think, if you watch Griffin's video, what you think of his shipping analogy, and what you thought of my assignment analogy in the comments below. I'm pointing down as you can. What you think of those analogies? Which one do you think is best? And if you have your own opinions on this guy, go ahead and give them. Try to be civil about it. I try to be civil, but there are some points where I recognize my failure in being calm and collected. And yeah, I have emotions. I will emphasize that I do feel them. I felt those emotions. I felt aggravated at what he was saying. I felt frustrated at what he was saying. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Keep it civil. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.